name is Nicholas DeRosa. I'm the Diversity and Equity Program Advocate.
And I'm John Martinez. I'm the Prevention, Diversity, and Equity Program Coordinator. Our job is basically promoting and bringing our services to folks that have been historically overlooked and underserved. So that can be Black folks, Latino folks, LGBTQ plus folks. And yeah, that's basically what we do.
So yeah, this is our third office. This is our newest office in the Milford office. We also have an office in Danbury and Torrington. Danbury is our main office. We have 3 floors. Our prevention suite. We're part of prevention. We're actually
The Prevention,
Diversity and Equity
Program Coordinator Navigator. So when you guys come to our office, this is the first thing that you'll see. The receptionist will be here. They'll ask you what services you're looking for. Are you looking for an SSP exchange? Are you doing an SSP intake? Are you doing an HIV testing, Hep C testing? And most of that work is done right here. This is our SSP room / testing room. So we have information about inhalants, cocaine, marijuana, any drugs, safe relationships, PrEP. We also do the HIV testing here. So it says that we use our OraQuick, HIV and Hep C. And both of them, you can get the results in less than 20 minutes. So anybody that comes into Apex and they're trying to get tested for Hep C or HIV, they'll get the results in less than 20 minutes. Anything outside, like let's say gonorrhea or chlamydia, that takes about a week.
We also have an INSTI test. Those are rapid antibody tests. So say we're out on outreach and somebody wants to take a test. These can be done in less than a minute. It's easy as 1, 2, 3. There's actually numbered tests. Did you want to do like a mock test? Maybe I could take a mock test. So first, I'm gonna have you fill out this consent form. You just have to sign it. This is consent to receive the HIV test.
Okay.
Then before I put my gloves on, I usually reopen stuff. Just run around all day and just use these. So first I would ask you, why are you coming in today?
For a routine check, for
routine
peace
testing,
of mind.
right?
Yes.
For peace of mind. Do you know what PrEP is?
No, I've never heard of that.
Yeah. So PrEP is a pre-exposure prophylactic. So that's something you could take on your own volition before exposure, possible exposure. And it lessens the possibility of contracting HIV by about, I think, like 99%, and I think 70-something% for injection drug use. And then after the fact, if you did come into exposure with HIV, there is PEP, and that is a post-exposure prophylactic. Right? It gives you a grace period about 3 days, 72 hours. You go and you have had exposure to someone with HIV through sex or injection drug use, and then they would give it to you, and I think you take it for about a month, and it greatly lessens your risk of contracting HIV, even after blood-to-blood exposure. You would take it about once a day, and it would greatly lower your risk. And that helps a lot with partners who have an HIV-positive partner. It's not like the old days where people thought that it was a death sentence.
Yes.
What was called GRID, and now they have the medication for it, so you can manage it.
So
you
partners can be with somebody.
Yeah, not transmit HIV. You can live a long, happy life now.
amazing.
That's kind of our job, is to like go around and like help break the stigma, because there are a lot of people, and especially certain cultures. Like I'm Cape Verdean. A lot of my family, when I talk to them about HIV, they have a huge stigma about it. Actually, a personal story. My grandfather, in-law, he had HIV and he lived with us for like the last few years of his life, but he was so scared to tell anybody. He actually had it, he never told anybody. And it wasn't until my dad took him to the doctor, and I think the doctor must have broke HIPAA. He was like, hey, so how's your HIV management doing? And my dad didn't know. There's such a huge stigma around it. He passed away early at 60. He had so much stigma. He wasn't taking his medication right. But I mean, full circle moment, I came to this job. I didn't know what this job entailed until like the day of the job interview.
Well,
yeah.
Your grandfather would be proud that you're making it better for other people.
I think
That's
so.
Amazing.
Yeah, I feel like everybody that works in the department with me, they came from that full circle. They've been exposed to either substance misuse or HIV in their lives. They've seen it and they want to help the community and like raise awareness and break stigma
And they know
of it.
that people are humans and need help.
I'm gonna count down, right?
Yep, you do it however
5?
works.
Sorry.
There you go. I knew you were gonna trick me.
So this one's gonna take about 15 minutes,
Okay.
and I'll give you the results.
Okay.
So after we get the test, put that in, and then usually we face it away. So
Thank you
I'd say,
for doing that.
yeah. So I'd say, all right. Are you
Thank
ready
you.
for your results?
Yes,
Like,
I'm ready for my results.
Would you like to get water or anything? Or
I'm okay, thank you.
comfortable? Yeah.
You've made me comfortable.
so then I would say the same thing. As you can see here, the control line has a line on it, which means that the test is working, and the T does not have a line on it, which means the test is non-reactive. All right.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
If it were positive,
That must be a hard part of the job. But you've built a relationship already, so if there was,
yeah,
it's a little easier.
it is scary. It's scary for the person, but we just have to reassure them that, everything's going to be okay. It's as simple as going and getting medication. So I just want to add, if we did have a positive test, it's as simple as sending them to our physician's office, because we send them up, they take a confirmatory blood test to see if they are positive for HIV, and if so, then we get them put on their medication as quickly as possible, because if the saying is U equals U, so undetectable means untransmissible. So you could still live a long, happy life. You can have sexual relations with a partner and not transmit HIV onto them. All right, so tomorrow, this example of something that we do in outreach, we're going to be going to an EDM music festival, and we're going to be handing out these harm reduction lockboxes. So inside, I'll break down everything. We have our flyer for our behavioral health counseling, substance abuse case managers, and our medical clinic. And we have Narcan, just in the event of an overdose. We'll also give a Narcan training. So Narcan is to prevent an opioid overdose. I think I have steps right here. So in the event of an overdose, you look at their skin, person's skin. So if they're lighter skin, if they're white, then they'll have blue skin. If they're like darker skin, you could check for gray skin. You're gonna shout, "Hey, are you okay?" Shake them. You get your knuckles and you put them on their sternum. Yep. And that should irritate them. If it irritates them and they wake up and they smack it, that means they're conscious. They're not overdosing. They're just really out of it. You could also put your knuckle right over the lip. That's another really irritating place that they'll wake up and like, no, smack it out the way. Say I'm going to call 911. Call 911 and say I'm going to administer a Narcan. So you get the Narcan. So this is what the nasal Narcan looks like. It's just a super powerful spray. Honestly, I tried it once. I sprayed it one time, and it went up into the ceiling. Got stuck in the ceiling. What you would do a chin lift, just to open up the nasal passage. Grab it like this. It's gonna go in the nose, and then you're gonna press down and shoot it. I'm not gonna press it. I don't want to waste it. It's very expensive. All right.
Does it sting or burn or anything like that, Nick?
I don't want to know. It's supposed to go in there. It's supposed to go really up into the brain. And what Narcan really does is, so this is your synapse, and this is the fentanyl, whatever opioid is on the synapse. So Narcan comes in and it knocks it out, temporarily knocks it out. You will stop overdosing. What happens in an overdose is that the whatever medication excites your medulla, and excites it to the point that it just shuts off. And medulla is in charge of your breathing, your heart rate, all of your simple functions that you need to survive. So when it comes off, it knocks it out. It goes back to normal. The person goes into immediate withdrawal because they don't have whatever they used in their system anymore. So when they do come to, they will be very aggravated, very cold, shaking, upset, really upset. But you do have to call 911. That doesn't mean that they're safe, because say if they took too much of what they're using and it's still in their body, right after the Narcan wears off, they'll go right back into an overdose. So next, everyone loves snacks, ice cold water, because we're going to be out and people are going to be hot. We have first aid stuff, safe sex stuff. We have condoms and lube. And there it is. So Fent test strip. This is the main thing I was looking for. So another preventative measure before you get to the point that you have to use Narcan is using a Fent test strip on whatever you are using. This takes about a minute to use. I can actually show you how it's done. And it will tell you whether or not there's fentanyl inside of whatever substance. It could be cocaine, marijuana, ecstasy, whatever drugs you may be using. So let me get this stuff and now test it. For the syringe exchange program, we also give out harm reduction kits. And these are for safe injection. This comes with a cooker, cotton to filter out before you inject, waters, sterile water, a tourniquet, and then regular first aid equipment, antibiotics, Band-Aids, and then condoms. And we also do give out Kinsley crack kits. And they have a Pyrex stem because usually people that use crack cocaine, they go to the corner store and they buy this thing called a rose. What the rose is packaged in is one of these stems. It's a way that they sneak it into the market. But they're very cheap and they break, and that could cause people to go to the ER. I was just taking this out to use the cooker to show you how the Fent test strip is used. We have our substance. This is grade A granola. This has peanut butter, so I mean I'm preventing an allergy attack. So you'd put the substance in, and it doesn't have to be a lot. It could be the tiniest little crumb. It could be the bag that the substance came in, and you would put sterile water. And then you give it a swirl, and then you open your Fent test strip.
Right.
You grab this blue part. So the blue part has a little hand. Make sure not to touch this part. And you dip it until you start to see water come up. All right. Oh, there we go. And then you leave it for a minute. And then you can read the results in the back. We get a lot of comments how these results get confusing. That's because these are actually backwards. Instead of this way, you would hold it and it would be upside down. So the closest to the collection part is the control, and then the part farthest away is the test. So this is the opposite of a pregnancy test where 2 lines equals negative and 1 line equals positive. So there's 2 lines, which means that the test worked and it didn't see any fentanyl inside of the substance. It's good. So this granola bar is safe to eat.
So one thing that we did is that we actually went out and we asked transgender folks about the hardships that they experience when they're transitioning, right? And what we found out is that one of the greatest hardships that they experience is actually going shopping when they're transitioning and they're buying guy clothes and they're female presenting, or they're buying female clothes and they're male presenting, how people stare at them, people judge them. It's just a really uncomfortable situation for them. So we hosted a transforming closet here in New Milford last month, but we actually had it here in our office where we had wigs, we had shoes, we had tops, we had jewelry, we had lipstick, makeup, everything that anybody needed when they're transitioning. And that project actually became something that's permanent. So there's our transforming closet. So it's not an event anymore that we do yearly. It's a place where anybody can come. They can get coats, shirts, cool scarves, shampoo, conditioner, jewelry, bags, socks, anything that they need. We even sometimes have hair dye. Whatever they need, they can come here and get it. We work off of donations. I know that's also one of your questions, if we work off donations or grants. We do a little bit of everything, and that's how we have this here. Anything that we have there is for the community. Yeah. And I think that's the last room.
Yeah.